Hello, everyone.
And welcome to Chameleon Conversations.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Desiree.
And today we're going to have a conversation about our relationship.
Ooh. Yeah, our anniversary is in
2 days.
Yeah. Woohoo. Congratulations to us.
Thanks.
All right, the first question is, how did you meet? We get asked this a lot.
I'd say we met through your brother.
Yeah. Shout out to Elijah Flores.
So, me and your brother were in a band together that we started in middle school.
Yeah, you guys went to middle school together. That's where you guys met.
And so just hanging out with him at his house.
Was it you two that started the punk rock band together?
I think actually Elijah may have approached Hannah, and then Hannah knew me.
Oh.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't know Elijah that well.
Oh,
But
okay.
I think she knew him. Anyways, we made fish popsicle.
Oh, I still think that band needs to come back. I guess, yeah, I kind of met you because you kind of were just running around my parents' house every now and again when you guys had like band practice and stuff. And then you eventually started coming to our church too.
Yep.
It wasn't too far after you guys started the band that you started coming to church, right?
So I wanted to stay over one night, and it happened to be a Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, okay, so my parents have this dumb rule that if you stay over on a Saturday night, then you have to go to church with us the next morning.
The life of a pastor's kid.
Yeah. And I was like, cool.
Yeah, you loved it. You were so stoked.
Yeah. Then I started going to church and...
And I've known you ever since then.
Yep.
That's how we initially met. We didn't like come back together and start like hanging out, you and I, until...
I was in college.
Yeah, and I wanted to start doing some open mic stuff, and I knew that you had worked with my brother and were instrumental, so I just kind of approached you, I think at church one day. I was just like, hey, would you want to help me out and do some little shows and whatnot? And then we just started hanging out.
Yep.
Having a lot of fun.
As friends.
Strictly. It was, though.
Yeah.
It really was strictly friends. We were just friends that enjoyed hanging out and talking music.
Yep. All right, so what were your first impressions of each other?
I saw you as a sweet, innocent little boy. I was originally going to say like a little nerdy kid, but I didn't even know you like that. Like you were just like one of my brother's friends, kind of running around and being silly. I remember you were kind of you were like the most straight-laced looking kid of that group. So I remember we were like, let's dye your hair. And so one of my earliest memories was trying to make you quote unquote cooler. And we like dyed your hair like jet black. And I think this was before I'd ever dyed any hair. Ever. Yeah. Not even on my own head.
Well, and it wasn't supposed to be black.
It was supposed to be dark brown.
Yeah, but my hair was so light that it just went
it was not even
black.
it wasn't even your hair. It's your skin is so fair. And the person it was my friend who had dyed her hair just previously, and it looked really good on her. But looking now, she has kind of more of an olivey skin tone. So it just kind of carried well on her. But now, like, we tease you a lot, and we like look at old pictures when you were like this little kid. But the more and more I reflect on it, you still look like a cool kid. Like you just had jet black dyed hair so young. Like, because my brother dyed his own hair like all the time. They would just spot bleach it, very punk rock.
He had skunk stripes and stuff.
They were so cool. You guys were super cool, super cute. But again, we did not like each other at that point. That's just those were my first impressions of you.
Yeah, I'd say my first impression was that you were, Elijah's older sister. I actually didn't see you a whole lot.
Yeah, I was running around doing my own thing.
Yeah, it was always kind of in passing. And again, we didn't really get to know each other until later.
Way later. Next question is, how would you describe yourself at the time that we first met?
Well, I was still in middle school, very focused on music.
Like the punk rock music? Or, because you were also in band too,
Yeah,
right?
just music in general. Like, I think that was my main focus. I was actually confronted with the dilemma of choosing sports or music, and I chose music. I kind of stopped playing soccer and really put all my cards into music, and so that was kind of my life. And so outside of school, that's pretty much all I really cared about.
And goofing off with your friends, like that's pretty much
practicing music all the time, and in church was also music in the worship team and stuff. So
back then, I was trying way too hard to fit in and to be cool and mostly to be loved by anyone. I was a little hipster kid, and I think I was definitely creatively just like creating from a place of lack rather than of overflow, which I think is the difference now. But I was just kind of all over the place. That's why you didn't see me much, because I was always chasing after some idea, some friend group, some boy, some whatever.
Yeah.
Just running around.
Who was the pursuer?
I think you can answer that one, babe.
Well, that was me.
Definitely you.
Yeah, I was the first to tell you that I had feelings for you.
Yeah, like we had grown close, and then I left to go to Paris and Cambodia on a mission trip.
Yep.
And I think that was kind of the spark of your realizing that you were interested in me, because I did not have that on my radar at that time.
So I had to make it known.
You did made it known.
I did made it known.
Oh my God. I remember I knew you were going to tell me that you liked me and pop our perfect little friendship bubble.
Wait.
And I remember because, you asked to like see me later that day. And I remember laying on my mom's bed, like while my mom was like probably putting clothes away or something in her room, and just talking with my mom, like all the reasons why, you weren't my type, kind of just like, I just don't see him like that, and I just don't, think that we should, and blah, 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 and I just, and I just kind of remember that, and then, you sat me down on the little, little log bench outside in my backyard, and you told me that you liked me. I said, thank you, and I am in love with Jesus right now.
Yep, classic.
Classic Christian girl, get out of jail free card.
How are you gonna argue with that?
You can't, and that's why girls use it. But I was serious, I was genuine, but shortly thereafter, well, I guess, how did you take that?
I took it like a champ.
Okay, I guess a better question. What was like your thought process?
I think in the past, I had girls who denied me initially, but then we would still become friends, and just throwing it out there, at least if she hadn't thought about it, now she will, kind of thing.
I think how people would look at you as like this sweet, like little quiet boy, you were quite brave and like, I don't know, kind of gutsy when it came to the ladies that you pursued along the way.
It's so funny.
You were pretty fearless in comparison to most guys.
I was friends with a lot of girls, and they always...
Oh, were you?
they always like, and it's even in movies, like they always talk about how like guys are too afraid to ask like pretty girls, but I was like, shoot, I want to date a pretty girl or whatever, so I would just be like, can't hurt to ask.
That's brave though. That's really...
The worst they could say is no, and then it's like, well...
I don't know. I just feel like your security, I think you've always had this sense of, and I don't know where you got it from or what, but like personal confidence and security. Like I've just, ever since I've known you, like even being like teased as like maybe the dorky one of the group, like you didn't care. You were still part of the group and you had a great time and you were really good as an instrumentalist. Like when it came to girls, like you just asked whoever, and I think I remember you telling me you just always aimed high. Like you were just like, why not? Like, which is pretty brave. Which me on the other spectrum was like, please, anyone, everyone loves me. It's just a deep, empty well needing validation. But then and then after you initially pursued me, I just remember many conversations with my mom where that argument just kind of slowly broke down, and I was like, he's not the type of guy that, but he could be, but maybe. And then eventually I was like, I'm in love. How long did you wait before popping the question?
I think we were on the same page-ish about when.
Once we started dating.
Yeah, once we started dating, we wanted to figure it out together for
we wanted
most
to
part.
Wait.
We wanted to
really
wait.
wanted to like take our time because I had obviously, again, church girl cliche, had come back from a mission trip and wanted like, if I was going to pursue a relationship, it wasn't going to just be for funsies. It was going to be for determining, you know, long term if this was going to work. Yes. And then, I think we were kind of on the same page, but you still surprised me.
Yeah, well, I think it got to a certain point where I think we agreed like,
whenever.
All right, anything beyond this point, because it's still supposed to be a surprise, but but a planned surprise.
Yeah, as girls go, I didn't know the ring that I was gonna get, but I gave you 2 choices.
So what was the proposal?
Magic, pure magic. You got me so. I feel like I'm very hard to surprise. You would say that, right?
Yeah,
for the most
usually
part,
sniff out the surprises.
Yeah, I do. I'm like a super sleuth. I look for any type of clue. If you say don't look in this closet because I have gifts hidden in there, I will absolutely look as soon as you walk away. Yeah. Chris says don't look at the Amazon cart. I will look at the Amazon cart the first chance that I get.
Yeah, so I just don't tell you those things anymore.
I know. Well, it was Christmas time, so obviously it already holds its own magic.
December 13th.
Oh, wow. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
It's not the 14th?
I want to say it's the 13th.
Possibly. I don't remember. But anyways, we were doing a Christmas parade with our church.
Yep.
And it was Peanuts themed. So we had giant paper mache heads made. I was Lucy and you were?
Linus.
No, you were Schroeder.
Yep, oh. I was Schroeder.
What did you do to like pre-plan everything and make it magical?
Well, I had at least 1, if not 2 meetings with your mom and your sister to kind of iron out the details.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, sis. You the best.
And then I think that's where we thought of the parade in the first place. And then I think working with Jim, who was driving the truck and who was powering the audio, you know, for the music and everything, we figured out how we could stop at a certain point, you know, for me to grab a microphone and, you know, do it over the microphone.
And you had to get permission for this, right? From the parade people, didn't you?
To stop, yeah.
You guys really went all out.
And they allowed us like 10 seconds or, I don't know, maybe
something
15.
Real brief.
Yeah, they were like, but you gotta just do it fast and then keep moving. And we're like, okay.
You had family on a certain corner that you guys were going to stop, which we kind of prematurely stopped before that. So some people were like running.
Yeah, your brother and friend Sean literally heard the feedback of the mic going into the speakers when he turned it on and then just ran. They booked it and like jumped over like a wall or something. Yeah.
I remember just being in the back of this truck bed with all these friends of mine with giant paper mache heads on. We're looking out in the audience. So obviously I'm like on like performance mode. I don't know why the truck stops.
Yeah.
I will say, extra magic. It stopped just past like somebody had like a fake snow machine.
Oh, yeah,
so we had just gone through this magical little moment of like fake snow, which is pretty great. And then, the truck stopped. So I'm like performance mode, like just keep dancing. Everything's fine. Just it'll work out. But then I get a tap on my shoulder and I turn around and I think it's you. And you tell me to take off my little paper mache head, my big paper mache head.
I had already taken mine off.
And I was just like, are you serious? Or something stupid like that.
And then I did the quick proposal.
And don't forget, there was like a light up Christmas sign that James and Teresa Witzel had made, and it said, "Will you marry me?"
Yeah.
I was just like in a magical snow globe of Christmas wonderment.
Yep.
And you asked me, I said, yes, of course.
And then we had to move.
And then we immediately put our paper mache bubble heads on. I think I'm crying underneath my paper mache head. Just happy tears of joy. And then we went out to dinner afterwards. It was pretty magical. I will say, of proposals, that was phenomenal. Bonus question. Did you ask my dad for permission?
I'm pretty positive I did.
No, I know, but like
traditional.
It is traditional, customary, and I think you did. I think I remember you did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had a one-on-one with him.
Mm-hmm. Next question. What are some of the highlights from your wedding or weddings? Because we kind of had two.
So the reason why we had two weddings, our goal was to just have a elopement style, small, intimate wedding.
We wanted to be out in the wilderness, and that's hard to do with a lot of people, so we kind of just settled on an intimate group of family.
Yeah, and we wanted to put most of our money into the photography and a video.
Which I stand by that choice still to this day. I highly recommend anyone considering getting married, your biggest and greatest expense should be your videographer and or photographer, because what do you look back on?
Mm-hmm.
Is the memories. You look at the picture and you look at the video. So it was an amazing choice.
Yeah, and then we also had to consider all of our family and friends that wanted to attend.
Or that we wanted to attend. We just know so many people.
Yeah, and so we kind of compromised and split it up into 2 dates.
Essentially, what did we call it? A wedding and a wedding finale.
Yeah.
And or reception.
Yeah. And so the timeline got determined by the video editing. Because we thought, we could show the video that we shot at the wedding.
Yeah.
And so we worked with our videographer, and he really sped up the timeline.
He really did. I mean, knowing now what editing takes and everything, he did us a great service.
And he's really busy, And so
Jansen Powers, incredible.
Yeah.
I can't even believe we got him and Ben Chaish, incredible photographer, incredible videographer.
Yeah.
That we happened to lock down, which was amazing.
Yeah.
So what are some of the highlights from that initial wedding on the mountain? Mount Rainier is where we got married. What are some highlights that you remember from that day?
We went to Sunrise, that side of the mountain, and I just really enjoyed the group of people that were there. It was immediate family.
Yeah.
Your maid of honor, which was your sister, and then my best man. Is it matron? Okay. Yeah. And then my best man was Sean Grabinski.
Literally the only non-family related person there.
Yep. But it was just small, intimate, and just really powerful.
Some highlights for me from that day were, everything. There really was kind of magic in the air that day, even though there was a lot of chaos going on. I think one of my favorite moments was probably when I walked down the quote-unquote aisle. Mm-hmm. I was kind of behind a tree, but then walking around that little tree, it was just the most beautiful view of the top of Mount Rainier with my family and my husband right in front of it with a cross that we used regularly at our church. So just so sentimental, and just that whole picture.
And the weather was perfect, because if anyone knows anything about Mount Rainier, it makes its own clouds and weather around it, and it was almost perfectly clear.
Difficult for the photographer, so much light coming in, but it still came out so well.
Yeah.
And for us, it was really beautiful. I think communion was really sweet. Having my mom up there beside my dad marrying us was really important to me. Just kind of that team aspect that was really, I think, sweet for me. Obviously our vows. And I think honestly the best part the speeches. We did not plan on having a little, not a real full kind of reception or whatever, but we kind of did, and speeches just kind of naturally started happening. And my brother said, I don't know, he just got emotional, and it was just super touching for me to see I don't know, my brother, who's like such a tough dude, like be so overcome with the beauty of that day. So that was really sweet and special to me. I'll never forget that. And then the drive to our little inn at the base of the mountain. I remember we were just on cloud 9. It was so beautiful. I had never driven that way around the mountain.
The east side, back side of the mountain.
I had never been that way, but like it was breathtaking. On top of just being married and just like, oh my goodness, beautiful and amazing. That drive was probably one of my favorite drives ever.
It was a beautiful day, seeing the mountain from almost all angles.
On that first honeymoon night, am I right? It was fun. We had like this quaint little like cottagey looking.
Yeah, it's kind of Victorian.
Hotel-y, I don't even know, inn. And we had the tower room, which was really cool. So then the second, like the wedding finale, I think was so great. My family worked so hard. Your family worked so hard on putting everything together. We even got back dressed up into our initials, so we got to wear our wedding clothes twice, people. We got the best bang for our buck. But I think I remember from that day walking out to the Lord of the Rings soundtrack.
Yep, the like Hobbiton beginning of like the Fellowship of the
So
Ring.
happy, so beautiful. So that was just super cute and cool for me. Me and my dad tried to do the Pulp Fiction dance, which I think was amazing. My dad put on a wig, I put on a white button-up shirt. It was just pretty hilarious. And super fun, and I think surprised some people. It was just a really wonderful day with awesome people that came from out of town, just dancing together on a dance floor. Like there's no greater joy than, I don't know, the feeling of love at a wedding sometimes. If you catch it right. And I felt like we really, and the moon was super big. It was like, I think it was a super moon. That day. So like it was just like we have this picture of like our cake with the cross in the background that was with us on the first wedding, and then just this big beautiful moon in the background.
From that day, I remember how many people helped us out. Like I had a buddy from college who did sound for the whole thing for free, and the Witzels, how much
cooking. They did
cooking.
So much.
They did like
James,
all the James did all the food for the whole event. And then the speeches. Sean did a killer speech. I did not expect that.
He did such a good job.
Yeah, and then I danced with my mom.
My uncle kind of DJ'd, I forgot.
That's right. MC'd.
And MC'd the event.
And then we did a dance.
Gosh, yeah! Our first dance was Glenn Miller, In the Mood, right?
Yeah.
And we did this cute little, and you don't dance in front of people, so for you to do that is a great memory. I think we had 2 really good weddings. Not everybody can say that, and we really did.
Yeah. So how long have you been together now?
We have been married, in a few days. It'll be July 1st. We'll be married for 6 years.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite memories from your honeymoon?
Well, we traveled to Cambodia, where you went on your mission trip.
Yep.
And so I got to meet a lot of your friends and people you got to know over the few months that you were there.
Thanks to Facebook, I was able to reconnect with so many people, even just our tuk-tuk driver I love, and was able to get a hold of him, and
Kim-san.
I love him. He was great, so good to us, drove us everywhere, and
It was just a blast. I got a pretty sweet, like 5-star resort style hotel.
Pretty sweet. It was like a freaking palace.
Yeah, and it was like through Groupon, it was like $60 a night.
It was insane.
But it was a huge, really nice hotel, and we got to travel around to all the temples and markets and
night market.
Meet a bunch of your friends. So I don't know. It was a blast.
Yeah, I think that hotel was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Being in Cambodia was unreal to just like go back and then with someone that you love to like kind of show them around. That was amazing. The breakfast, that breakfast was the greatest breakfast. We look forward to breakfast every day because it was so fresh. There was so many options. That's when we fell in love with dragon fruit.
Oh yeah, it was so good.
Which sucks because you can't get it in the States like that. Like it does not taste the same.
It just tastes bland and doesn't taste like anything.
Anything like dragon fruit in Cambodia.
The janky little fair that we went to.
Oh, it was so fun. But yeah, a little questionable in certain safety regards. But I think I loved that because I saw you playing games like Cambodian little like just hand clappy, you know, fun games, kids games with them and just having a good time. It was just unreal to like have built a bond with these people on my mission trip. And then to see them embracing and engaging with my husband and my husband embracing and engaging with all of them, that was just...
Yeah, and so many of them were like, why did you come back here on your honeymoon?
Yeah,
like,
you could go anywhere else in the world. Why did you come here? Because it's amazing. Yeah. Our honeymoon was the best. Still probably one of my favorite trips that we've ever been on, except for the very end when we almost... It's a funny story now, but we almost... Because of, I think, the days and the time. Yeah,
it's weird because, it's like a day ahead.
It's like a day ahead, kind of.
I just mixed up dates and we almost missed our plane ride out of there.
I don't think I've ever been so, like, furious that I just kind of shut up. Like, I just kind of was, like, quiet and just, like, moving fast. Like, just packing as much stuff, because that was the day we had saved to like buy all of our family gifts, go back into the market, and we couldn't. We had to get right on a bus. We had to pack up our stuff really quick and go on this long drive into the city where we could get a plane out. And that was hilarious. But I mean, it's hilarious now.
Yeah.
Also, how was it when you saw all the people like stacked on one moto, like 4 or 5 people in one?
That was new to me. Just the travel and how there's not really lanes. Like everyone just kind of.
Oh, you just walk across the street.
Well, people just drive whichever way, and like they don't stay in a lane. They just like it's just a Wild West of driving.
Yeah, when you cross the street, you just cross, and like you don't stop. They'll go around you.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying, and I think a very bad way to cross the street.
But you see it, and then you're like, okay, I guess we do it this way.
Keep moving. Yeah. Was there anything you tried that you ate there that you had never eaten before, or?
I remember the Mexican food.
Oh yeah.
Remember the orange beans?
Oh no.
Yeah, they had like orange beans with.
Yeah. I remember it was so hot that we kept trying to get like smoothies or things like that would cool us down, and they would melt like that.
Oh yeah, it was very muggy and hot, but.
I think probably one of my favorite parts was the jungle when we like walked.
Oh, the jungle hike?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
At the end of the jungle hike, there was that waterfall that I got to like stand under. It was pretty magical.
If you could tell your younger selves some bit of advice, what would it be?
Stay away from credit cards.
Oh, yeah.
Do not do it. Just don't. Find a financial peace class near you. Listen to the things that Dave Ramsey says, and do not get a credit card. That's what I would say to myself.
Mine would be similar. I think I would say get scholarships and don't do student loans. Like, I had no idea how long I would be affected by student loans.
I had no idea that I would, in marriage, join in that wonderful process. I think we do a great job at enjoying the little things, and I would say just lean into that. Like, there's no tomorrow. Lightning round. Who is more romantic?
You.
Me. Who's the first to apologize after an argument?
Probably you.
Probably me, I think.
Yeah.
Barely. We're both pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
Who stays mad longer?
Probably you.
What? Probably. Really? You think?
I think in most cases.
I think you hold silent grudges.
So do you.
It's a tie. Who's the better cook? Definitely me. The jury's out, I think. I think we're pretty tied. Let's see. I have, who's the funny one?
Me.
Yeah, I think you are, unfortunately. I'm hit or miss. It sucks, but it's true. Okay, who's the most patient?
Me.
You think so? It depends.
Yeah.
I think it depends. Yeah. Who said I love you first?
I don't even remember.
Jinx. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. We'll call it a tie.
I think it was me.
I think it was you.
Yeah.
I think it was. Okay. Who is grumpy in the morning?
Me.
Yeah, you for sure. I can be pretty chippa for the most part. Who is the messy one? You. I would say you.
It depends, because you clean by putting things into just messy piles.
No, they're not messy piles. Just because you don't get to them
you're one that would like shove a bunch of things in a closet.
You want to talk about me as a pile. You have piles on top of the speakers in your... Okay, I think it's a tie. Who is the spender?
Both of us.
Yeah, I'd say we tie. Both. Who is more stubborn?
Probably me.
I was gonna say, I'd say you, I think a little bit. I think you just take longer to come around, but not very long. I can be pretty stubborn. I don't know, yeah. Who's the bigger sports fan?
You.
Yeah. Who has the bigger sweet tooth? Me.
You.
For sure. Oh wait, who's the better driver?
Me.
Barely. Who's the better dancer?
You.
Me. Who's the better date planner?
You.
Me. That was really nice to go down memory lane a bit, especially with our anniversary coming up.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Anyways, would you marry me again?
In an instant.
Oh, good answer. And that's the beauty of conversations. They never truly end. And we hope you continue this conversation and many more.
We'll see you guys next time.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.